If you are a spiritual man, if you are not spiritual, this may not apply to you. If you are not somebody under God's government, this may not apply to you. But if you call yourself a believer, a spiritual man who is under God's government, then these things are the ways that scriptures has recommended. The Bible said in Proverbs 11:24-25, it said, there is him that scattereth, yet increaseth. There is him that withholdeth more than is meet, but tendeth to poverty. Verse 25, he said, but the liberal soul shall be made fat. Him that watereth shall by himself be watered unto. So in this kingdom, for you to make money and to profit, you have to be liberal. 2 Corinthians 9, you read from verse 6 to verse 8. Paul was teaching, and he likened our increase to the technology of farming. How a farmer sows few grains and reaps a great harvest. He said, but this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall also reap sparingly. He which soweth bountifully shall also reap what? Bountifully. Verse 7, he showed us that there is a spiritual force that comes in when you become liberal. He said, every man according as he has proposed in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly or of necessity, but for God loveth a cheerful giver. Verse 8 is where the mystery comes in. This is why I said, if you are a believer, see what he said, and God is able to make all grace abound towards you. So when a man becomes liberal, liberality traffics a kind of grace in his direction. And what does that grace do? That you, always having all sufficiencies in all things, may abound in good works. So anybody who believes that grace empowered him is liberal and is committed to good works. That's the sign that this is a believer who is wealthy. Number 2, diligent work. Scripture shows is a channel for increasing money. In Proverbs 10:4 and Proverbs 22:29, see the way the Bible puts it. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand. It said, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. If you want to be wealthy, he said, be diligent. Pay attention to details and be consistent. You find many people, it's not enough to give, sir. Giving is one of the legs of the stool. If you only give and you are not diligent, you will end up hating God and your pastor. And this is why we have a problem in church. We keep emphasizing giving, and we don't teach the other things that scripture reveals. So you find a Christian who goes to work late 20 times out of 24 working days. You find a Christian, they've given him project, 4 out of the 5 projects he finished last, and he came with excuses. But that Christian stands in church and says, Lord, remember my offering, remember my tithe, remember. You have a problem, sir. The offering is powerful, your liberality is powerful, but that's not the only law God gave. There is the law of diligence. Even God himself cannot open doors for you to where you will prosper, because you will bring reproach to his name. That's why I said in Proverbs 22:29, seest thou a man diligent in his business? That's the only one that stands before kings. So you can give and never come to where you should prosper, because diligence has not been added. Number 3, the Bible speaks of wise investment. Matthew 25:14-30. It's too long for us to read, but it's the parable of the talent. He gave one 5, he gave one 2, he gave one what? 1. Which of them prosper? The 2 that invested. The one that didn't invest remained at the same level.